Welcome back to another lore video, everyone. Air of Fire here. Today we're going to be diving into the pain world of Ariandel and discussing the boss fight that few people seem to be interested in talking about, the champion's Gravetender. Initially, I'd assumed that in this fight we're pitted against the legendary champion of the undead match and his loyal wolf. But after fighting the boss again, I came to a pretty obvious conclusion. It's not the champion we're fighting. The official title of the boss is Champion's Gravetender. Notice the apostrophe there. That is to say, the Gravetender of the champion. So who the hell is this guy we're fighting and why is he playing Fashion Souls? Let's see what we can find out. First, let's read the item description for the champion's bones we receive for defeating the Gravetender. The charred but warm bones of a champion. Burn at the Firelink Shrine bonfire to participate in undead matches. Long ago, an undead declared a fight to celebrate their undeath and to preserve what remained of their souls. So it was that the undead matches were born. The merit of an undead is measured in deaths. Could there be a greater gift for such a creature than a fight that has no end? Alright, so there are a few things to unpack here with this item description. First, I'm going to start off with the second little paragraph there. So, a fight to celebrate their undeath and to preserve what remained of their souls. This seems to imply that one way you could put it is they fought, they engaged in these duels because there was nothing better to do. It was either that or join the Crestfallen. And these undead matches gave them a sense of purpose that kept their hollowing at bay. Now, moving on to the third paragraph, what's most interesting to me about this is the line, the merit of an undead is measured in deaths. So if we look at the actual definition for merit, it says, the quality of being particularly good or worthy, especially so as to deserve praise or reward. So these undead were trying to prove their merit, to prove their worth. To whom, I wonder? Maybe to prove themselves as a candidate for linking the fire? I don't know. I might be getting way ahead of myself on that. But, such as we are as lore enthusiasts. Alright, moving on to our other featured item description. Valor Heart. Weapon once wielded by the champion of the undead match. A special paired set consisting of a broadsword and a lion shield. The champion fought on without rest until he lost his mind. In the end, only his page and a lone wolf stayed at his side. So, in reference to the second paragraph, where it says, lost his mind, I can't help but try to imagine what might have caused this. So, when an undead loses their mind, it's because they go hollow. And an undead goes hollow because they've lost their sense of purpose, they've lost their will to carry on. So, what might have caused the champion to lose the will to carry on? I think it's because time and time again he could not lose in the arena. He could not be defeated by any undead. And so over time he lost that purpose that he had gained in the first place by engaging in these fights. After winning so many times and just not there being no challenge to the fights just took all of it just made it bland. And then, of course, we have the line, in the end, only his page and a lone wolf stayed at his side. So now we're introduced to these other characters, and it's pretty easy to identify who this lone wolf is. Of course, it's the great wolf that we fight. But who is this page? The story this seems to tell is that there was once a fierce undead who, in the face of hollowing, decided he would not join the Crestfallen. He would pound his broadsword flat against his shield to challenge his fellow undead. From that day forward, these undead had purpose. They had competition and camaraderie, a chance to hone their skills, a chance to prove their worth, and most of all, a chance to stave off hollowing. However, the challenger that founded this community of honorable sport could not be defeated. Time and time again, he struck down his opponent in the arena, and over time, the very duels that made him feel alive and human became stale. Once the champion had many followers, but as his sanity began to slip, he was deserted by all but his page and a lone wolf. Eventually, the champion they so respected succumbed to the curse of undeath, thus becoming hollow, most likely attacking his loyal followers that remained by his side. The page and Great Wolf would not be overcome. As we've seen firsthand, they make quite the formidable team. It's easy to imagine them fighting together against the champion with the same deadly techniques they use against the player character. Bereft of their respected champion, the page and wolf became lost, homeless, forlorn, and so they were drawn into a painted world, a peaceful land, its inhabitants kind, a cold, gentle place. There they made a grave for their honorable champion, submitting to an eternity of quiet vigilance. The page embedded what must have been the champion's greatsword into the snowy earth next to the grave. Perhaps Valor Heart was actually the champion's secondary weapon, and he primarily wielded this massive greatsword. Well, guys, that's pretty much all I've got as far as solid facts. I brought up the question before about what significance there might be to the Gravetender's gear, but I honestly do not have a clue. He or she wears chainmail, no pants, and the dark mask. So we have a dark wraith connection there. Not to mention halfway through the Great Wolf's health bar, he goes all abyssal on us with the red eyes and more aggressive moveset. So there's obviously an Abyss connection here, but I have no idea what FromSoft is trying to tell us about it. One last thing I want to mention, and I almost didn't include this just because it's so wildly speculative, but in the picture we have, the item description for the champion bones, we can see what appears to be a skeletal hand clutching, or not even clutching, just we have this blue cloth draped over the palm of the hand, featuring a blue background with a golden line. And I feel like I've seen this design somewhere. At first, I thought it was maybe part of the Elite Knight set, but it's not. And I haven't really been able to find it anywhere else, but I haven't looked that hard, to be honest. Anyway, something about this cloth just screams chosen undead to me. Maybe I'm totally just off my fucking rocker, but I don't know. And the way it refers to them, it repeatedly it avoids any specific gender pronouns. It always says there. And I know that in and of itself doesn't really mean anything, but I don't know. At the same time, on the other hand, it makes me think they're trying to refer to a player character. I don't know. That's just speculation. Take it as you will. Anyways, guys, let me know your own opinions in the comments. And if you like my ideas, maybe let some friends and other lore junkies know about me. See you next time.